Welcome, I'm Dr. Saida, and we are exploring redefining femininity. It's an interview series with some people from all over the world. Today is no exception. We have my beautiful sister friend from London, who's also Bayesian. Monica, I always love when we connect. Super exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm going to read a little something about you, Monica, and then we'll just jump right in. So Reverend Monica Douglas Clark is a heart-centered soul rebel creating sacred spaces for driven change makers to breathe, live life, and experience well-being through ritual, transformational leadership, mentoring, coaching, spiritual counseling, and inspirational speaking. Wow!
Come on.
You're just awesome. That's basically, we just have to admit, you're amazing. And I'm so happy to have you here. I know you've been through a lot lately, so I'm really, really grateful that you're bringing yourself to this conversation. It's a very important conversation, Monica. There's a lot going on with femininity right now. So I'm curious, let's jump right in. What do you feel like for yourself is the deepest meaning of femininity?
So for me, it's the receiving principle of the universe. And I think that we need the balance of giving and receiving, and that's the thing that's really missing right now in our world, our ability to open up and receive. And to do that from a place of peace and deep surrender to the overarching principle of oneness. So this is what I feel is something that we need to explore.
Okay, so your version of femininity has in its core the full capacity to receive. Is that what I'm hearing? Yeah, beautiful. And Monica, I'm curious, was there anything that happened in your journey? Because you've been on a big journey, we all have, but you have a really amazing journey. Was there anything along that path where this particular definition of deep receiving came through for you?
So for me, at various points, and I want to speak to what is happening currently in my body. So you alluded to it at the beginning, was a sense of me having gone through a particular strong journey recently. And actually my whole digestive system shut down.
Wow. And
I had to have emergency surgery, was in hospital for 3 weeks. Now, and I'm still in recovery now after major surgery. Now, I had to ask myself when I was in a very dire place physically, what brought me here? What brought me here to this place where my body has to physically shut down in order for me to listen to her? And I had to do some deep soul searching, and the reoccurring pattern that there's been in my life, even with all of the personal development, with all of the training, with all of the deep soul searching, has been a reluctance to allow myself to really open up to what wants to come and to be preoccupied with pushing and striving and not really deeply listening. And I feel that this is what's happening to many of us right now. Those of us who are called into leadership, those of us that are called into service, is that we're pushing. And we're often pushing ourselves physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually beyond what our capacity is, because we've not allowed ourselves to work from this place of deep femininity.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. I know it's very vulnerable, but it's also really important that people see that even in well-practiced people and leaders, we're all facing this issue of there's more and more layers of receiving and listening that can happen. So that's really powerful. I want to move into the last question, which is where we'll spend most of our time, I think. And that has to do with the current dissonance and divisive conversations between this idea of masculinity and femininity and all the chaos that's ensuing around that, and the pain and all of that, and the separation. And what I'm interested in is not that part, because everyone's covering that part. I'm interested in, how do we move forward? What does it look like? What could you give us, Monica, where we could maybe start co-creating a more harmonious dynamic between the masculine and feminine? And
yeah. So this is a really important piece for me, Saida, for many years, and we've been part of this journey. We've been in this place of having to rebuild our sense of identity and wholeness. And we've done that in our silos. So there's been great work being done in the field of the sacred feminine and in the field of the sacred and divine masculine. And we are now at the place where, in order for us to evolve, we do need to move into this place of deep collaboration and connection, and where our groups are moving beyond our inner work and moving to a place of, how do we flow together? How do we bring this balance? Now, in the fields of spirituality, this there's been some incredible work done. We've raised our vibration. It feels like we're starting to connect into wider, deeper, and also more the communities that haven't been reached before. But the only way that I feel we can change the paradigm is to move from us as individuals into working in collaborative teams and groups and communities, where we recognize the real benefit and the real juice, I would say, of our co-creation.
I would have to agree, Monica. I think we're spending a lot of time in separation. We're spending a lot of time behind our devices. We're not in person with people. And I think we can really exaggerate the division and the separateness in our minds when we do this. And then when we come into contact, we have so little experience of what it's like to be in a dynamic community going for something together, that we're fairly, how would you say, awkward. There could be an awkwardness initially, and that's okay. And I think if we come to it, from what I hear, you're inviting us to come to this in curiosity, in understanding that we cannot solve this in isolation and separateness, that we have to come together live, and we've got to come together in a creative way with all these different facets of what's possible. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, and this is a really important piece. It's live and in person, and where we can connect in our energy fields in a very tangible way. A lot of us have been, the technology is great, don't get me wrong. We wouldn't be able to do this if this wasn't happening right now.
Yeah.
And there's something so powerful about our deep interconnectedness and physical realm. I've been doing a lot of work recently around ritual, around labyrinth work, and walking and creating these spaces where we can come with all that we have, that which is solved, which is unresolved, and we walk these spaces together. And yes, it is awkward. Sometimes we're passing people because they're moving at a different pace to us. Sometimes they've stopped completely. Sometimes someone's racing behind us and we're just like, please slow down. But it's only in these spaces that we're co-creating that we notice our patterns, that we open up to recognize that others are operating at a different pace in the same field. And we can release what we need to release together we can receive something that is much bigger than any of us individually, and then we can return into the collective space with something very precious that would never have happened if we'd not come together.
So the other thing that you're recommending, not only do we need to come together in conscious community, get off the devices, do face-to-face, get curious, but you're also suggesting there is a lost potency in a well-designed ceremony or ritual that allows us to connect to kind of the more refined or deep or essential qualities that maybe our busy lives kind of erode from us. Is that what I'm hearing?
This is essential. For me, the reclaiming of ritual and deliberate ceremony and conscious spaces where we can move beyond what our day-to-day is encouraging us to do.
Yeah, I agree. So powerful. I really want to thank you, Monica. I know these are short interviews, but I think that we can infuse a lot of wisdom in these little moments shared together. So I want to thank you for bringing what you've brought. It's a very powerful and unique perspective on what's needed. And for the viewers, just stay tuned. I have a little special offer I want to give to you. You're invited to join this amazing conversation. Soon I'll be doing a training, Redefining Feminine Power, and I want you to be there. So click the link that comes with this video, join. Just for joining, I will be giving you a free downloadable gift, so definitely watch out for that. And if you can't make it at the time that the training is happening, don't worry. Because you've signed up, we'll make sure you get the replay, all right? So all you need to do is just click on the link, join the conversation, and let's redefine feminine power together.